Hey everybody, welcome into this week's episode of the Top 5 from Tony's Spot On Fishing. I'm your host, Tony Krizik. This week, we're counting down the top 5 baits you need to be throwing for bass on the Des Plaines River. Why are those 5 baits so important? Because we're going to tell you about a tournament that benefits the Brianne Contiero Foundation. Going to be out of the conservation area on the Kankakee River and the Des Plaines River, September 8th, and we're going to tell you more about that in just a bit. The first bait we want to talk about is a shaky head jig, and a very specific type. We want to run a football head because we're going to be pitching this thing under submerged rock bars, rock points, and that football head is going to clear those rocks. It won't get snagged up on you. Teaming that up with a cut-tail worm, 4-inch, 5-inch, natural patterns, green pumpkin chartreuse. If you got a lot of barge traffic and she's really churned up, black and blue works very well too. Play around with different weights. Currents are going to be, changing throughout the day as they open locks, things of that nature. Mostly 1/4 ounce is a safe bet in most situations. If you need to go heavier to keep feeling bottom content, so be it. But that shaky head bouncing over those rocks like that with a cut-tail worm is dynamite. Now we like to keep most of our presentations fairly compact when we're fishing on the river. And one of the best compact presentations is a Finesse jig with a chunk trailer. I prefer to run the Strike King Rage Tail trailers. A lot of undulation on those paddle tails. They have the little paddles on the craw pinchers. Again, 1/4 ounce is pretty good. A lot of times I'll even, if I can get by with running an 1/8, if I'm in a backwater area where I really don't have any current flowing, small, compact Finesse, pitch it up onto the rocks, pitch it on the weed edges, right along the banks, things of that nature. We can drag them, we can hop them. The fish will tell you pretty much exactly how they want it that particular day. Sometimes dead stick in a lot of these presentations, the Finesse type things. Big hop, let it sit. But play around, you will get bit on a Finesse jig out there. It is definitely produced when nothing else will produce out there, especially if a front should roll through, anything like that. The Finesse jig and that compact profile, it's going to catch those fish on the river. The main forage base on that river, there's a ton of shad in there. A lot of these little baby shad. And what we like to do, especially when we're in vegetation, we can pitch this next bait into pockets. We can drop it right on those weed edges of the main flats. But it's actually a Wacky worm. Little bit different style than just conventional Wacky hook. We're actually going to put that weight stopper on first. Have an 1/8 ounce, that's all you need, 1/8 ounce tungsten weight, because we do want it to kind of slowly drift with the current and still be able to pull the bait down. But we go again, smaller and more compact, a 4-inch Yum Dinger. That pearl color mimics the shad out there very nicely, and it is perfect for working inside those pockets and along those edges of the main mats. And we catch a lot of fish that way. You don't want to overweight that presentation because as soon as you do, it's going to drop way too fast. We do want some natural drift to it. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, we want to take a small time out in the top 5 and show you a small clip of the interview we had with the Brianne Contiero Foundation board members. Hey everybody, here we are at the Des Plaines Conservation Area talking about a big event that's going to be going down Saturday, September 8th. Benefit for the Brianne Contiero Foundation. With me are 2 of the board members here. Brandy, thank you so much for being here. Terry, of course, thank you so much. And thank you so much for allowing Spot On Fishing to be a part of the event and help bring this to our viewers and talk about all the great work that you guys are doing with your foundation and about this tournament.
She was 12 years younger than me, and growing up, she was kind of like my personal doll. Her grandmother lived right next to me, and her family would come over, do yard work, and Bree came to me. In describing Bree, I'd use 3 words. She was compassionate, inspirational, and also a hero. In January of 2012, Bree became a hero for many people who had thought they had no hope. She was an organ and tissue donor, and through her organs there were 5 people, and with her tissue there was countless others that thought they didn't have hope, and they now do have hope.
With me right now is Brianne's mom, Terry, who is the head of this whole organization.
She was studying to be a nurse down in Kansas City, and upon her Angel Day, she was an organ donor. She saved 5 people's lives with the gift of life by donating, and we just want to move it forward. Give back to the community, and and our mission is to educate and bring the awareness of organ donation and the importance of it and how it can save lives. The fishing tournament is going to be our first annual. It's our inaugural year, and we appreciate your sponsorship. And that's going to be here at the Des Plaines River, Kankakee, and that's going to be September 8th. So we're looking forward to that as well.
60 boats, the Kankakee River and the Des Plaines River. All the information, the prize money, the spots, the payouts, everything will be up there for you guys to read. And of course, we're gonna have some good food that day, I hear. Okay. Again, ladies and gentlemen, Saturday, September 8th, 2018, at the Des Plaines Conservation Area on the Kankakee River. The links to the website to actually get to the registration, to print out the forms and print them, fill them out, send them in with the check. We're gonna have all those links in the video description below. It is limited to 60 boats, and we're gonna fill up pretty quick, but we would love to see some of our fans of Spot On Fishing out there, and we're gonna be out there too, actually fishing in the tournament. So it'd be great time just to be with our fans, fish, and raise some money for a great cause. Kind of getting closer into that fall pattern, being that tournament's gonna take place in September. And as we get some of those mats that are coming down and the weeds won't be as thick, maybe even have some fish just on some break lines, a square bill crankbait is a phenomenal choice out there. I love the Lucky Craft 1.5s. Honest to God, the best color too. Green copper shad, unbelievable out there. If you can find them in the 1-knocker model, that is my first choice out there for a crankbait. But if not, if they only have the silent ones are just as effective too. It seems a lot of times the ones that'll have the BB type rattles to it aren't quite as effective this time of year, that 1-knocker or the silent series, but that copper green shad, 1.5 Lucky Craft, that square bill is going to deflect off of any type of structure, be it rocks or timber. You don't have to worry about hanging it up, only goes down about 3 feet. When we come in off the main river channels running and gunning and we fish these flats, we're only in 3 to 5 feet of water anyway, so it's shallow water out there that we're fishing, and a square bill is a great way to cover water and find those active fish. And our number 1 pick, here we go folks, the spinnerbait. Kind of tinkering with it a little bit out there though. We're running a 1/2 ounce or even the 3/8 ounce size, depending on how high that vegetation is. But we're going to actually downsize that front blade. The standard blade on a 3/8 ounce Strike King is a 4.5. The standard on a 1/2 ounce spinnerbait is a 5. We'll actually go one size down on that front willow leaf blade, again, just to make it a smaller package. Mimics those bait balls out there, those shad. Blue pearlescent is phenomenal. Sexy shad works very well too. Straight pearl, pearl silver, colors like that. And those are the type of baits, colors we always want to go to, more natural, mimicking the shad. Keep them just above the weed tops. Again, that's why it's good to have both the 3/8 and that 1/2 ounce size. And you'll be able to cover those levels of the water column and find those fish that are feeding pretty heavily, getting ready for that fall pattern to start coming into fruition. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There are our top 5 picks of what you need to be throwing this late summer, early fall out on the Des Plaines River. Again, Saturday, September 8th at the Des Plaines Conservation Area. The tournament will be taking place. We're going to be out there fishing in it. Again, we'll be filming. Also, you have our camera crews on hand to document the whole experience. You guys could be a part of the show during the weigh-in, boats coming and going. It's your opportunity to be a part of Spot On Fishing. Again, Saturday, September 8th, Des Plaines Conservation Area. The links for the entry forms are in the video description below. Again, limited to the first 60 boats for entry. That's it for this week, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, my name's Tony Krizik. We'll see you next time on Tony's Spot On Fishing.